Hello, it is I, Red, your favorite non-binary creative life coach. Today, I just kind of wanted to talk about the best advice I have ever gotten for writing. I know specifically for poetry. Okay, so it was middle school. I think it was in 7th grade. I was doing a project that involved poetry. And I think it was an acrostic poem, one of those where the letters at the beginning of each line added up to something else. It was something about the environment, you know, as things are. And I wanted some feedback, right? So I went to the writing teacher for the middle schoolers at the time. I went to an art school, so he was readily available. His name is Mr. Carr. Shout out. He's great. And the feedback that he gave me was less feedback for this poem specifically, but more just kind of life advice for writing. And it was that every line should have some sort of feeling or sensation or image there that a reader can latch upon. So instead of just being a filler line telling us about something that happens, or the environment is dying, for example, for that specific poem, probably, he wanted more an image of how the environment is dying, like the leaves on the trees are becoming brown and dying out of season because of acid rain or whatever you want to talk about. And that feedback really kind of stuck with me, and I've been using it ever since. So, like I said, the idea is that each line introduces an idea, a vibrant image, sensation, like something you can see, taste, touch. What is the sound you're hearing? And I think this applies to any writing as well. Otherwise, what's the point of a sentence in prose or a novel if it doesn't attract us, pull us somewhere, give us new information? That's kind of part of show don't tell, right? But I thought that Mr. Carr's idea was just a little bit more specific, because I really resonate and benefit from having direct next steps. I don't do well with ambiguity. So that's something that's really stuck with me. When I think of that feedback, I'm able to really look at each line of a piece that I've written and see if it pulls on that sort of sensational connection, or if it's just some words that are there. And of course, in poetry, sometimes people write poems and they've got really short lines, right? So sometimes it's fine, because sometimes those super short line poems are setting you up for, a certain beat when you're reading it. So sometimes a line is just the word and that doesn't exactly introduce an image or give us a connection, but if it goes with the format of the poem itself, it's okay. But even in the rest of that short line poem, I think it's really important to notice if each line, even if it's just 2 words, it's important to notice if those lines are bringing something new, are showing rather than telling. Otherwise, what's the point of this poem? Is it just fluff the whole way through? Is there anything connective? Is it just stating that something is a way without showing us that any examples of how it is that way so we can really attach to it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Shout out Mr. Carr. It was great advice, and I hope you got something from this.